Hello and congratulations on getting access to this video course. We're going to talk about how to grow your Instagram fan base. Let's just go ahead and jump right in, and this is video number 1. And let's talk about a quick overview of what's inside this video course so that you know exactly what to expect. Of course, this is video number 1. Video number 2, we're going to talk about a list of things that you need to do before you can actually drive traffic. So before we actually jump right into the 4 different traffic sources that we've pinpointed to figure out what is best as far as driving traffic with Instagram, I want to talk about a few things and just prepare you so that you're able to start out on the right foot. Video number 3 is going to be broad niche and specific posts. Video number 4 is going to talk about demographics. It's a big mistake that a lot of people just jump straight into trying to drive traffic without really trying to think, okay, who am I trying to attract? If you don't know who you're trying to attract, then it's going to be hard and going to be difficult on what you're trying to do. And then you're just trying to hit everything. You're just trying to drive tons of traffic. And at the end of the day, yes, you might have a massive list of 100,000 people, but it doesn't matter if you're not building a quality list. So that's what we're going to talk about in mindset in just a minute. So after that, we'll talk about traffic source number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. All right. So now what I want to do is talk about mindset. I really want you to think about quality over quantity. That's why I brought up the issue with you don't want a list of 100,000 followers unless those followers are super targeted and they are your demographics. That's when it's okay. But at the end of the day, I don't really want you to think, oh, I need a list of, I have to have a list of 10,000 or 50,000 or 100,000. So it's easy to get trapped into I want a large following. But really what you don't want to do is you don't want pride to ruin your profits. If you look at a lot of people who have big lists, they're like, I've got this big list. So it's really showy, it's really prideful. And I don't want you to get in that mindset because it's not about pride. It's not about the big list. It's about providing valuable content to your followers to the point that they love you, they love your content, and they're willing to buy from you versus somebody else. All right. So that's what I'm trying to get at right here. So it's better to have 100 fans who love and engage your content versus 1,000 fans who don't really like or view your content, right? So start with this mindset first and you will become more successful. All right. So what do you need? Well, obviously you need an Instagram account. We assume that your account is well branded and converts as well. So meaning that your account has, your brand on it, whether if it's your personal brand or your company brand, you have an idea that Instagram is all about lifestyle, right? People may have found you via Facebook, which Facebook is all about discovery. And then Instagram is all about, oh, okay, I know more about you, but I want to get to know you. So that's what Instagram is all about. All right. So I assume you have a better idea of that and you have a good, Instagram profile and you're ready to begin driving traffic. But if you haven't really touched base yet, I'm going to talk a little bit about this in the next couple videos. And that way you're able to start out on the right foot. But the main goal of this video course is, of course, to get your traffic strategies that actually work. So with that said, let's go ahead and move on to video number 2. Welcome back. This is video number 2, and let's talk about what you need to do before you can drive traffic. So there are a few things that you must have. Aside from having an Instagram account, you need to make sure that your account is well branded, meaning the type of person that you are attracting is going to really want to follow your personal or company lifestyle. Now, I touched briefly about this before, but if you're not well aware of this, as you know, different social media platforms are different, right? So Instagram is all about the lifestyle. People follow you on Instagram because they want to know more about you on a very granular level, meaning they want to know more about your lifestyle. So let's say, for example, like scuba diving, all right? So with scuba diving, they're going to want to know more, not just about scuba diving, but they want to know, what you're doing like before scuba diving and all that, right? So they kind of get to know you on a better, more personal level. So you need to figure out, are you doing this as a personal lifestyle or is this a company brand lifestyle? So obviously brand lifestyle would be a little bit different, but personal would be more on a personal level, right? So your branding needs to address that. How well your profile resonates with your target audience is one of the most important things because it's kind of make it or break it. So Instagram is all about that. And as you know, like YouTube is all about entertainment. People go there to kind of waste time, and they're not really thinking. They might want to go there to learn, but they're also there to kind of waste time and all that. So that's a different platform and different atmosphere. So as you know, you can't really go to a different culture and act differently, right? Otherwise, you're going to stand out and you're not going to fit. So I'm not saying you need to fit a specific person, but rather you need to fit a specific platform. Like I said earlier, Facebook is all about discovery. Like, people go to Facebook and they might discover your brand or you, right? So they want to know more about you, and they therefore go to Instagram. So as long as you have that kind of, okay, this is what I need to do in Instagram. I need to pick and choose pictures that fit content, or pictures that showcase our personal or our company lifestyle. Then that's what the type of mindset, that's where you need to be. All right. So if you get this right, the type of people that follow you are going to be higher quality type. All right. So that's your goal at the end of the day. Get 100 people that really love and consume and engage and like and heart your Instagram pictures, versus getting 2,000 people and maybe getting like one like here or there. All right. So that's kind of what the mindset that I want you to be into. All right. So like I said, let's talk about scuba diving for a minute. Let's say we are selling the latest, greatest scuba diving mask. This mask will allow you to breathe on, go underwater and view the beautiful things underwater for a longer period of time. Maybe it's easier, whatever. So if in order to do this, you're going to need a profile that attracts this type of person, that gets them excited by showing them the lifestyle besides the scuba mask. So like, for example, on Facebook, you might sell a scuba mask, or even on YouTube, you might show how to use it. But on Instagram, you want to show the lifestyle around it, right? So you might want to show scuba diving lifestyle, what happens during the day, maybe before you go scuba diving, maybe afterwards, or just the lifestyle, so people can kind of see, okay, this is how it fits into my life. And I got some ideas, I got some inspiration, I'm going to go buy your product kind of thing. All right, so selling on Instagram is very indirect. It's not direct at all. In fact, if it is direct, you're on the direct response marketing does not work very well on Instagram, right? So that, keeping that in mind, you might want to integrate the scuba mask into the whole picture, and that way they have a better idea of, okay, this is how it fits into my life and all that. People want your product or service simply because it not only solves a problem, but the keyword that I used earlier is inspiration. A lot of times people go to Instagram to get inspiration, to get ideas on how to incorporate it into their lives. So they can see from your lifestyle, they see different inspiration, different ideas that they can take back. And if they feel that they have gotten value from you, they're more likely and more inclined to actually purchase from you, right? So that's what you need to do before you can think traffic. Traffic is easy, but getting your profile set up right, picking the pictures that you need to choose that fit the lifestyle and the style of your brand is crucial. Now, another thing that I want to say is, if you're looking for pictures, you can go on sites like bigstockphoto.com, you can go on graphicriver.net, and what I recommend that you do is you find pictures that fit a similar style. Hello and welcome back. This is video number 3, and let's talk about broad niche and specific posts. Basically, how to set your profile up in such a way that it attracts the right person. And it'll make more sense as I dive into this. So now that we've discussed why branding and attracting a very specific person is important, the question is, how do we attract them? Well, your main profile should cover a broad niche, and that's why this is titled Broad Niche and Specific Post. So what does that look like? Well, it shouldn't be too broad, but it should be broad enough that it attracts a specific person of a specific mindset. And then, of course, your content posts, which are your pictures, then should be more specific. Now, while that makes common sense, I'm actually going to jump in. I'm going to show you how to actually do things in just a minute. So here's what I mean. Let's say you're targeting scuba diving, all right? So if that's the case, you should use a general or broad keyword related to scuba diving. Now, if you want to do scuba diving, that's fine. Maybe you want to do something more specific, like you're just scuba diving masks. All right, so you can focus just in on that as your broad niche keyword, but you don't want to be too specific because you want to attract somebody of a similar mindset. So in that case, you might want to do like a scuba diving profile. Now, if you're a company, that's a little different. If you're a personal lifestyle, you can go a little bit more broad with a personal lifestyle. So with a company, you kind of have to do it a little bit more specific. But if it is specific for your profile, your posts need to be more specific. Now, I'm going to show you different ways and different tools that you can use to actually break things down so that you can brainstorm more specific keywords. And that way, instead of just posting to post, you have a reason to post, and then you have the ability to post things that people actually want. All right. So we're going to use Google Suggest Keywords, and I'm going to show you in a minute how to actually do all of this. All right. So this will allow you to find high demand, high search keywords that people really want. And you're not just thinking, okay, this is something that I feel like is going to work. You're actually using actual data from Google that actually says that these are keywords that people want to know. All right. So that way, instead of figuring things out yourself, you're just taking a look really quick. As you'll see in just a minute, we're going to do it really quick. You're going to have it in hand, and you're basically going to have a roadmap to actually what to do, basically. And you can use this later on. So for now, let me jump right in and let me go ahead and show you this in action. So obviously, before you can do this, you need to have an idea of what you want to sell, right? So that way it'll tell you whether you need to do scuba diving mask, that is a little bit more specific, but yet general, or you need to just do a widespread scuba diving, very, very general, right? So you need to know that before you actually do this research, because it's just going to make life a lot easier if you do it this way. So let's say, for example, that we're going to do scuba diving. We don't really care about the masks or anything like that. So all you do is just type in scuba diving, and then you can scroll all the way down to the very bottom, and you're going to see the following. So you're going to see scuba diving gear, scuba diving meaning, equipment, facts, dangers, Goa, whatever that is, and then videos, and difference between scuba diving and snorkeling and all of that. So you could even go further and type scuba diving gear and see what you find here. So we can go down to the very bottom again, and these are basically Google suggested keywords. That means that there is a very high demand for these keywords. That means people are searching for these keywords. So you could take these and you could break them down, and you could say, okay, my profile is targeting scuba diving. So what you could do is make sure that you focus on maybe different types of gear packages, gear or tanks, different equipment and all that, and how that integrates into your lifestyle. Obviously, if you're going to do scuba diving and that's part of your lifestyle, then hopefully, you're teaching something that you're already familiar with. So that's going to be a lot easier. You just take pictures of your scuba diving gear. Now, if you're doing this for like affiliate marketing and you're not really scuba diving, then of course you kind of have to get creative. And then of course you can go to places, like I said, like Big Stock Photo, and find images. So how about I do that just right now? So this is bigstockphoto.com, and let's say we'll type in scuba diving. Now, what I mentioned earlier about styles is if you go through here, you'll start to begin to notice there's a very specific style, because different artists, different photographers are different, right? So maybe you really like a certain picture. So if you click on it, Big Stock Photo will actually tell you who the contributor is. In this case, it is Rich Carey. So if you click here, you can actually see all of the photos by him. So then your pictures actually begin to look very similar. Somebody looks at it and they're like, okay, the style is very similar, and therefore the brand is very similar. The problem is a lot of times if you're picking and choosing different photos from different authors, they look totally different, and then it kind of creates this uneasiness, right? So people don't know how to say it, or they don't know how to explain it, but they just feel uneasy. So that's why when let's say you have specific keywords that you find, and you want to make sure that the images that match that also match each other, right? Because at the end of the day with Instagram, it's big in images. So people will judge you by often the 9 images that show up on your profile first. So you might want to take a look at these bigstockphoto.com or Shutterfly or all these other royalty-free image sites. So that's what I would do as far as finding, keywords, starting with a broad keyword, which is very easy. That's whatever you want to sell, and then breaking it down from that point on. Now, another tool that you could use is the Google Keyword Planner, but honestly, I feel like this is the easiest way to do things. Plus, you're also seeing the suggest keywords, which are what people actually are typing in a good amount of. Now, you could also use other suggest search engines like Amazon.com. So let's go over there for now. So Amazon.com is a great place to go to simply because if you type here, let's say scuba diving. So as you are about to complete the sentence, you can see that it also gives you suggestions like scuba diving equipment, fins, regulator, mask, light, computer, and knife and equipment package. So Amazon, as you know, people go here to buy products and goods. So they're more likely to show you what is actually profitable. So you can get keywords from here. You can also go to places like eBay, you can go to Walmart, you can even go to youtube.com to get an idea of what people are looking for. You can also go to Instagram as well. So this is kind of how you can figure out the specific post, and from here you can break it down even further. So for example, let's say scuba diving mask. So we type in scuba diving mask, and you can see that it breaks it down further. Scuba diving mask and snorkel, diving mask set, case for kids, frameless, defogger, strap cover, and GoPro mount. So you could even break it down further. Let's say strap. Let's see what we get. So sometimes it'll stop at that point. So set, dive it. So let's just take a look at scuba diving mask and see what we get. And from there, you can figure out, okay, these items are selling the most. Maybe I'll do a lifestyle review on that or something. And there you go. That's basically all you have to do. Nothing complex, and I didn't want to make it complex at all. So like I said, just a quick recap. Number one, get your main keyword. Number two, get your specific keywords and turn those specific keywords into specific posts. Okay, so welcome back. This is video number 4. Let's talk about demographics, which is really crucial to understanding who you are targeting before you actually begin to drive traffic. Because the worst thing that you can do is drive traffic without even knowing who you need to target. What age, what, sex, female, male, whatever, and all that. The life stage and all that is very, very important, because if you attract the wrong person, then you're not going to get really the conversions that you're looking for, right? So don't invest any money yet. Let's talk about demographics. So like I said, before you can use any traffic source 1, 2, 3, 4, you need to do this research. I'm going to make it quick as possible so you can get an idea, you can go do it yourself, and you can be on the road to figuring out how to build up your Instagram following. So basically you need to know who you're targeting. Like I said, male, female, age, life stage, all that. And you can get all that information for free by using a free tool. Now this way you find a high quality follower who will love, consume, and engage with your content if done right. So here's how to do it. Basically the way it works is once you have found your broad keyword, which you should have figured out in the previous video, you can use the free Facebook Audience Insight tool, as I will show you in just a minute. Okay, so the best way to get to the Facebook Audience Insights tool is simply by going to business.facebook.com/ads/audience-insights, and that should forward you here. If you have any problems, you could always go to google.com, do a search for the Facebook Audience Insights tool, and you should find the link here. So sometimes Facebook will change the links, so that is the case. That is how to always find it out. So the way and the reason why I like the Facebook Audience Insights tool is it really drills down to the point that you can see who your demographic is. Now, the best way to do that, especially if you're getting started out, is you can do it in 2 different ways. You can either go find a magazine that is very popular in that niche, or you can simply type in the interest here. So up at the top, you can search for a specific country. So normally it sets you within the country that you're searching from. In this case, from United States, and you can always click the X and you can add like UK, Canada, Australia, or whatever else countries that you're looking for. You can also specify the age and gender, but I wouldn't do that right now. In fact, I wouldn't do anything right now. The only thing that I would do is under the interest, I would put the actual interest. So I would put a very broad keyword. So in this case, I would do scuba diving. So if you notice, if I put scuba mask, it doesn't even show up. So what you're looking for is a very, very broad keyword. So in this case, scuba diving. Now, what's even better is if you can find like a magazine. Let's see if this one's a magazine. Yeah, so this one's a magazine, And the reason why magazines are great is because magazines they'll do everything in their power to promote their magazine. So they get a lot of traffic coming to their page. So if you can find a Facebook page as well, that would be great as well. But as you can see here, we can see 61% is men. And then of course, 39% are women. The majority of men, it looks to be from the ages 35 to age 54. Same with the females as well. So there's females, males, it seems like the largest group is 35 to 54. So after you have a better idea of the age and gender, you can of course take a look at the lifestyle, which will give you a better idea of what kind of pictures you can use for your Instagram profile. Looks like there's a lot of married and college, well-educated, and there's a lot of veterans, government, and military. So we have a better idea of what kind of pictures that we should choose. You can go to page likes and get an idea of the different pages. Go to these pages, take a look at the pages, see which images get the highest comments, the highest likes, and then maybe use similar images for yourself as well. Location is okay, but it doesn't really matter right now. Really what we care more about is just the demographics and the page likes. And that's all you have to do. Now, if you want to narrow into a very specific area, let's say men 45 to 54, you can always click this and get a better narrow view. But even if you click that, we can see that it's about pretty much the same. So once you're done with that, you are good to go to the next video.